Real Estate Talk on Smart Talk 1580.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome once again to Real Estate Talk. I am your host, Dave Pautsch of RE/MAX Integrity. We're live this Saturday morning, broadcasting from the Albany studios of KGAL Radio at the old library building, the home of Silver Falls Dermatology. Had a little confusion this week, to be honest with you. This is November was a 5 Thursday month. Now, I do a live show on the first and third Thursdays, which usually ends up to be a regular alternating pattern. I came into the studio at about, 10:45 or something like that this Thursday, only to have Dave Adams look at me and go, "Dude, what are you doing here? You don't have a show today, do you?" No, I didn't. It's live today on Saturday morning, but I had prepared the show. It's all ready to go for Thursday, so if I accidentally make a reference to November 29th, that's why. That's my mistake. But it is the first day of December. It is the first show of December. We are post-Thanksgiving. We are post-Black Friday. We are post-Small Business Saturday. We are post-Cyber Monday. Almost all of you probably have Christmas trees up, Christmas decorations. I see lights going up in neighborhoods. Ladies and gentlemen, it is officially the holiday season. So what are the implications for home buyers and sellers? What does the holiday season mean to the housing market? You know, stay with us. When we get to the market update at the end of the show, we'll talk about that just a little bit. But in general, right now, it seems almost like nothing. There is no impact. Lots of stuff is still going on. It's still a very, very active market. Again, just last week, I wrote an offer for a client, and we are once again in a multiple offer scenario. So it's still a pretty busy market, and you will see that when we talk about the statistics later. So here's a question. It's only 10:30, but are you hungry? It is almost lunchtime. If you're hungry, you want a taste on us. That's a $10 Quiznos gift card for the first person this hour to email Dave Adams, and that's dave@kgal.com, and mention Taste on Us. That Quiznos gift certificate is for the Albany's Quiznos store. Quiznos is a perfect game time snack, too, and today OSU's kickoff game is at 11:30. Their game against Nicholls State. This is the makeup for the first game of the season that got hurricaned out. A couple of weeks ago, I was talking about the buyer's and seller's guides, two different PDF files, two different electronic files that I have. Obviously, one for buyers, one for sellers from the National Association of Realtors. They are available for you. I'm happy to share them. I just ask that you do two things. First, like the Real Estate Talk Facebook fan page. That's at facebook.com/Real Estate Talk on KGAL. If you've already liked the show, then just do the second step, and that's email me at realestatetalk@kgal.com. I do need you to email because I have to send the files to you. They're very big PDF files. I have to send them separately, but I can't post them to Facebook. And if you are not a Facebooker, and I guess there are some people out there that aren't on Facebook. And I was emailed by one of them last week, and I very, very kindly thought, not everybody is on Facebook, and I did send this very nice lady a copy. So if you're not on Facebook, let me know. I'll still get you a copy. If you are on Facebook, I would really appreciate getting your likes for the show. It helps me out. Well, we're going to get started today with the Real Estate Showcase. Just one home in the showcase today. That home is located at 5203 Mallard Circle Southwest in Spring Meadow. A little over 2,400, almost 2,500 square feet. Is a 4-bedroom home, 2.5 bathrooms in this home. It's a very solidly built home. It was built in 2001. It's in great material condition. Very solidly built. It's in the first edition of Spring Meadow. It's located on, it's not a cul-de-sac, it is a circle. It's like a loop that goes around. It's a mix of single-story and two-story homes in there. Has a very decent-sized backyard. Again, this is a two-story home on a very quiet, low-traffic loop. The first floor of the home, you walk in and you see kind of a nice entryway. The stairs go upstairs. All 4 of the bedrooms are upstairs in this home. To the left, you would go through to the utility room, into the 2-car garage. To the right, there's a closet, and you go straight back the hallway into an open kitchen area with a family room off to the left. Through that and off to the right of that whole section of the house is a formal living room and dining room. Nice space, perfect place for a holiday gathering. Bring all the family and friends and neighbors and whatever you got in there. You can get a lot of people in this house. Good floor plan for entertaining. Out the back, there's a beautiful Trex deck. There is a retractable awning that comes down. Nice sized yard, lots of grass, some raised beds on the one side. When you come back into the house, again, you look in the kitchen, oak cabinetry, very nicely done. There's a gas stove cooktop, as well as a gas range, installed microwave. Nice counters, very nice home, nice open kitchen, lots of counter space, lots of cupboard space, and then there's a nice little pantry as well. When you go upstairs into the 4 bedrooms, the master bedroom, very spacious, has that bay front, which gives you a nice sitting area. The master bath features dual sinks, a separate water closet, a spa tub, and a separate shower. So very nice master space, also a big walk-in closet in there. The other 4 bedrooms, all good-sized bedrooms, very nicely done. It has the top-down, bottom-up blinds in all of the windows in the main part of the house. Just a beautiful home, again, located at 5203 Mallard Circle Southwest in Albany. The list price is $242,000. So this is really a very, very good deal in a very, very nice neighborhood. And if you want more information on this home, the MLS is 6511104, or just send me an email here. Again, that's just the one home in the showcase today. If you want more information on that home or on any home, just send us an email at realestatetalk@kgal.com. If you've got a question for the show, you can email that to the same place, or you can go to the Facebook fan page and get your question posted there. You can always go for all of the links to all of these different places. Go to www.kgal.com and click on the link for Real Estate Talk. If you are not currently working with a real estate professional, and the show that we're going to do today is about when things go wrong. There's a lot of people who maybe don't understand some of the things that real estate agents end up doing to help you. And to some extent, maybe that's the purpose of me talking about this today, at least a little bit, that if you're working with a realtor, hopefully they can help you solve some of these problems. That's not really the ultimate goal, though. It's kind of a sub-goal, if you will. But if you are not currently working with a realtor, and again, I believe that you should be, and you'd like a market analysis done on a property, whether you're looking to buy that property or sell, send me the email address, and I will provide you with that market analysis at no obligation. Knowledge is power. Pricing your house correctly for the market, or understanding the best market price for a house you're looking to buy, can help you craft the right negotiating strategy to get you there. I will provide you that market analysis at absolutely no obligation. Certainly, I do want to be on your team, and if you'd like an agent that's 100% on your side, that is my commitment to all my clients. I only work with one client in any real estate transaction. I don't do dual agency. Also, if you're starting the home buying process, I encourage you most strongly to contact Willamette Neighborhood Housing Services at www.nhs.org. Take the class. It is absolutely worth it. And if you are listening to the sound of my voice right now and you want to take that class, as long as you're not working with another real estate agent and you want to take that class, contact me here at the radio station at Real Estate Talk. Let me know the date you're signing up for, and I'll pay the course fee for you. It's $45 per household. It's a wonderful class, and I understand starting in January, they're going to be doing one class a month, and they're going to shift and alternate back and forth between Albany and the Corvallis location. So once a month, and then there's going to be an evening class tossed in there as well. Usually it's a full day Saturday. So again, if you want to take that class, email me here at realestatetalk@kgal.com, and I will pick up that tuition fee for you, because I do believe it is just that powerful a class. It's a great way to get started. Okay, to the topic today, when things go wrong. I'm going to talk a little bit about, it's kind of from the heart. These are the things that affected me in the past 5 or 6 weeks. I have had things like this going on in transactions that I'm working with my clients. And I want to talk to you about them so that you can be prepared to face them, know how to deal with them, and in a couple of cases, know how to avoid getting into that situation. I'm Dave Pautsch of RE/MAX Integrity, and you are listening to Real Estate Talk on KGAL.
The 2010 Town and Country Christmas Bazaar is this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at the beautiful Lynn County Fair and Expo Center in Albany. Over 200 booths, free parking, and admission only $1. Enjoy music and magic with Mrs. Claus. Visit Christmas Storybook Land and get all your shopping done for gifts and decorating. Friday from noon to 9 p.m., Saturday 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., and Sunday 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. The Town and Country Christmas Bazaar at the Lynn County Fair and Expo Center this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Sully Stay and Play Doggy Daycare in the North Albany Village really does care about your loving member of the family. Here's Tony Sullivan, local owner and operator.
A happy dog at Sully's is a happy dog at home.
Sully Stay and Play specializes in home-baked doggy treats.
Nowhere else in the valley is there a gourmet dog bakery.
Sully's offers unique pet supplies.
We have the toughest, high-quality leashes, collars, harnesses, and dog toys.
Obedience and training classes.
We also have a certified dog trainer on staff who will train your dog by appointment.
Sully Stay and Play provides exceptional daycare service, and you can watch what's going on.
At Sully's, we have webcams in the play areas. So if you're at work, home, or like one of our customers who was in New York City, you can be there to check on your dog when you're not really there.
And it's safe.
Sully's is a safe environment with trained and caring staff looking out for your best friend. All dogs have to pass a behavior screening test.
Sully Stay and Play Doggy Daycare in the North Albany Village, 1 block north of Highway 20 on North Albany Road.
A happy dog at Sully's is a happy dog at home.
Young Rebecca Randall is brought from her home on Sunnybrook Farm to the village of Riverboro to live with her two aunts, Miranda and Jane, as she works to learn proper manners and the many rules of living in the brick house. The sometimes irresponsible Rebecca manages to inspire her aunts with her joy for life as she makes new friends and adjusts to her difficult new circumstances. Albany Civic Theater presents Rebecca of Sunnybrook Farm. Get your tickets now at Sid Stevens Jewelers in downtown Albany or Wine Styles in Corvallis. Rebecca of Sunnybrook Farm, playing December 7th through the 22nd at the Albany Civic Theater.
I'm going to have a great Christmas, but this year I'll have to really stretch my budget. I'm keeping it simple by shopping at the cutest little jewelry store in the area, Mid-Valley Gems and Jewelry. They'll even wrap my gifts for free. Lovely estate items, distinctive designer pieces, always some great sale items, and their prices and quality are always better than the chain stores. For the collectors on your list, 2012 proof sets and silver dollars. Collectible Christmas coins, too. Coin collector supplies and starter kits, stocking stuffers from under $10. Smart shoppers know where to buy fine jewelry and gifts for less now and anytime. So, if you were thinking jewelry is too expensive for your gift list, think again. Let Mid-Valley Gems and Jewelry make this Christmas the best ever. Mid-Valley Gems and Jewelry on Pacific, just down from Wendy's in Albany.
Valley Talk, weekday mornings on News Talk 1580 KGAL.
And Real Estate Talk on Saturday mornings right here on KGAL. Welcome back. I'm Dave Pautsch of RE/MAX Integrity. Remember that Real Estate Talk is the only local resource on local radio that you have for real estate information right here in the Mid-Valley. We spend every Saturday here. Sometimes there are Thursday shows that we record and rerun for you on Saturday mornings. Sometimes Dave comes into the studio on Thursdays to do a show and realize it's the wrong Thursday. But regardless if you've missed a show, if you're looking for information about real estate market trends, www.kgal.com. Click on the link for Real Estate Talk. Past shows there. Also, Dave has been recording the show. Dave Adams has been recording the show for me and sending me the HTML code, and I've been posting that to Facebook. So, okay, here it is. I'm an optimist. I tend to look at the positive, especially in real estate, but you know what? I'm also a pragmatist. I'm also a very practical guy. And in the past few weeks, I've had a lot of stuff that has just gone off track. And in our office, when you have a deal that either doesn't come together or whatever, you send in what's called a purple sheet. And I have been the king of purple sheets lately. So I thought it would be a great opportunity for me to talk to you about when things go wrong. It happens. It happens in every real estate transaction, and you have to deal with it. Now, there are sometimes things you can do preventively to keep it from happening, especially from the seller side. There are some things that, no matter how well you plan and how well you look ahead, sometimes things just come up, because real estate is what I call a due diligence business. You get into a contract And even though you may have been in the house, there's so much that you have to do research on that as you walk down that road, sometimes things go awry. So in a typical real estate transaction, there are a number of things that can go wrong. And if you're prepared for them and take things like this into account, you're going to save yourself a lot of time, a lot of money, and a lot of heartache. And in my case, I maybe would have saved myself a few gray hairs. So from the buyer perspective, the first challenges come with actually getting your offer accepted and getting into contract, getting that earnest money offer into a contract and accepted on the home. So here's a quick list of things that will keep that from even happening. First of all, finding the home you love online, emailing your agent only to find out that that house is already under contract to another buyer. And it happens a lot. And here's why. The public face of the multiple listing system shows active listings. And an active listing is defined as a listing that is not pending or sold or expired or terminated or withdrawn. Okay, so an active listing in the MLS, there are subcategories. There's active under contract and active right of refusal. But these are only available for us as real estate professionals or people who have access to the back end, the professional side of Paragon, to see. All of those statuses, all three of those statuses will show as active in the public view. Well, I know a lot of you are going, well, why is that? Well, there's actually a very good reason. Active under contract and active right of refusal are not sold. They're not pending. There are still lots of things, as we're going to talk about today, that can go wrong, and it is in the seller's best interest to keep those homes listed as active to continue to try to market for buyers for them in case something goes awry, which very often things do. Has nothing to do with the house in many cases. It may have to do with the financing for the buyers. So it's in the seller's best interest to do that. And to be 100% honest, as I always try to be, it's in the real estate agent's best interest to do that as well, because we are constantly looking for new clients to work with. And if someone calls on a sign or from the MLS about a home that I have, and even if it's under contract, one, I may be able to keep them in position that if something goes wrong with that particular property, we can help them. Or we may be able to get a new client and help them find something else that works for them. So that's the reason why, take that as it is, you just need to understand that. So how do you find out what the real status is? You ask your agent. And again, in some cases, it's going to be under contract, but things like short sale transactions and other transactions do go sideways. So it never hurts to have your agent follow up with a listing broker to find out that more detailed status and to keep an eye on it. I will often tell the listing agent to give me a call if I've got an interested client if anything goes south with that deal. Okay, so let's say that it is active and available and you schedule your showing and you love it. Well, now you have to write an offer. And probably 20% of offers get written today and they're not accepted for one reason or another. And it actually may be a higher number than that. But let's say 20 to 30%. And the first reason is that the buyer and the seller end up too far apart and they can't find that common ground in between to make a deal. Now, I recently had a situation where the buyer and the seller were $4,000 apart on a $240,000 purchase. Now, that's a little more than 2%. They couldn't work it out. Neither side would budge, and rather than stay at the negotiations and try to squeeze a little bit more, the buyer rejected and walked away. Well, in this market, maybe the buyer had other options available to them, but it's so horribly frustrating to lose an opportunity for a home that you like over what in reality is a relatively small amount of money. So how can you prevent that? Well, honestly, frankly, sometimes you can't. It's about leverage, real leverage and perceived leverage. It results from hard positions and absolutes. And in this case, it was, I won't spend more than X dollars on that house. Well, I don't know sitting on the seller side if it was, I won't spend more than, or I can't spend more than. Now, if you're in the I can't spend more than situation, then the question becomes one of whether you should be looking at those homes or not. you can save yourself some heartache by being pre-approved with a good lender and looking realistically at homes that you can afford. It's certainly okay to look above your price range, to look at homes that are potentially overpriced that should be in your price range, but be careful when doing that. Also, make sure you're not setting yourself up for failure. Talk with your agent. Maybe have your agent call the listing agent to discuss it before you fall in love with the home. If, on the other hand, it's an issue of I won't spend more than X amount of dollars, then you should also take care in the homes that you see. Again, having your agent talk with the listing agent to get an idea of the situation the seller's in may be helpful. But I also think that buyers need to examine the why they won't spend over X amount of dollars. Is it a question of you don't value the home enough? Do you not like the home well enough to pay more, or do you not feel that the home is worth more? Certainly, we all want a good deal. Most buyers today want to start with built-in equity. But if you pay attention to the numbers, if you listen to this show and you listen to the market update, you know that the market has changed and it is continuing to change. If you find a home that you love and using the situation I described earlier, you end up $4,000 apart from making a deal, then I would ask you this question. If you didn't see the value in the home, why did you write the offer in the first place? And if the potential is there for the value to come in, but you're just not secure in paying, you don't want to pay too much, well, that's why we have appraisals, folks. Remember, the appraisal is not intended to protect the buyer. It's there to protect the lender. But in a way, it does protect the buyer, at least in this situation, doesn't it? I mean, if the buyer goes ahead and accepts that $4,000 difference, and a lot of real estate agents will break that down for you and tell you that a $4,000 difference on a 30-year loan at 3.75% interest is little more than, and I didn't do the math, but let's say it's like $20 or $30 a month in your mortgage or less. Okay? Assuming that the reluctance to do so is one of valuation, then as a buyer, you have two more bites at that apple. You have two more opportunities to recoup some or all, or maybe more of that $4,000. They have the inspection period to identify problems and negotiate repairs. They have the appraisal, and if the appraisal comes in low, they have another opportunity to renegotiate the price to make sure that it qualifies for the loan. Again, I am working under an assumption that we could also debate, and that is that if the buyer doesn't love the house enough to pay what it's worth, then perhaps they shouldn't write the offer in the first place. Another issue that often comes up during the offer negotiations, and it's happening more and more in our market today, is this multiple offers. The inventory in our area is so low that nice, well-priced homes in good neighborhoods are getting multiple offers. Now, as an agent for a buyer, I hate multiple offers because it's so hard to see a buyer who has fallen in love with a house ultimately not get it. The risk of not getting it often drives them to feed into their fear, if you will. With multiple offers, you're operating in a knowledge vacuum. You don't know what the other offers are. You don't know who they're from. So you're in a position that I like to describe as having to write an offer that's going to allow you to sleep that night regardless of the outcome tomorrow. You have to write an offer that you'll be comfortable knowing that A, if you get it, you didn't overpay, and B, if you don't get it, it's okay because you wouldn't have paid any more anyway. As an agent, this is tough for me because I can't help you make that decision. My role is to provide you valuations, comparable sales data, and my experience. But ultimately, you have to be comfortable with the decision that you make, and you have to live with that. And I can't give you too much guidance there because then if it goes the wrong way, it's just really too hard. Remember also that sometimes terms and conditions can be as important, if not more so, than price. So don't leave that out of your calculations. Okay, we're up on the break. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll continue to talk about when things go wrong. I'm going to start the focus through the buyer perspective, and we'll pick up some of the issues in the seller perspective later. A lot of them obviously are going to be the same issues, so hopefully we'll catch them all. Okay, bottom of the hour, it's Real Estate Talk on KGAL.
let it snow. The Shed Institute and the Emerald City Jazz Kings will warm you up with their annual Christmas show in Corvallis, Thursday, December 13th. Usher in the joy of the holiday season with Christmas favorites like Sleigh Ride, I'll Be Home for Christmas, Jingle Bells, Santa Claus is Coming to Town, Warm December, Chestnuts Roasting, and many more. As always, the Jazz Kings performance will be unforgettable. The Jazz Kings is a big band of fine Northwest musicians, plus an excellent group of singers. One performance only in Corvallis, Thursday, December 13th, 7:30 p.m. For more information, go to kgal.com or kshow.net and click on the OFAM link, or call 541-434-7000. Tickets will also be available at the door. The Emerald City Jazz Kings at LaSalle Stewart Center on the OSU campus.
Traveling should be fun. Why drive to the airport in heavy traffic, pay to park, and worry about your car? Keep it simple. Reserve your spot on the HUD Airport Shuttle with 5 pickup points and a shuttle every 2 hours. Park free in Corvallis at the Hilton Garden Inn, in Albany at Phoenix Inn Suites. Take the easy, convenient, fun way to the airport. HUD Airport Shuttle. Reservations required. Go to HUDshuttle.com or call toll-free 888-257-0126. HUDshuttle.com.
Hi, I'm John Kohler. I'm the Foundation Director at the Mennonite Village. I seem to get a lot of responses when we have ads on the air, and if I'm doing the voiceover, they say, "Oh, I heard you on the radio this morning on KGAL, K-Show," and we get a lot of responses like that, so it's encouraging to us to see the value of the money that we invest in our advertising.
Tis the season and time for planning holiday parties and memorable company celebrations. Be sure to include Mama's Fine Italian in your plans. Have the party at Mama's in Lebanon or book them to cater your event. Either way, it will be superb, and your guests will love it. Need a special bottle of wine for dinner tonight or for a party hostess gift? No better place or price than Mama's incomparable wine shop. Closed Sunday and Monday, so make the most of the other 5 days and join your friends at Mama's. Like them on Facebook or contact them through their website, mamasfineitalian.com. Call for reservations or to plan your holiday party. 541-451-5050. That's 451-5050. Mama's Fine Italian and Wine Shop on West Oak between Main and 2nd in Lebanon, across from the Big Blue Napa Auto Parts building.
Hear the truth and only the truth from your cultural crusader, Michael Medved, on News Talk 1580 KGAL.
Welcome back to Real Estate Talk. I'm Dave Pautsch of RE/MAX Integrity, and you can hear the truth here, too. Okay, so we're talking about the things that go wrong in a real estate transaction and maybe how to prevent them or how to deal with them when they do to keep the deal from falling off track. So let's press on. You found the home, Mr. Buyer or Mrs. Buyer. You've gotten the offer accepted. So where else can things go wrong? Obviously, inspections are a big one. As realtors, we always recommend that when you have an inspection, or that you always have an inspection to know what it is that you're buying. What gets repaired, though, typically at seller's expense, is where many deals go south. In large part, this can depend on 2 issues. Who is the seller? And what is the scope of the repairs? If the seller's a bank like Freddie Mac or Fannie Mae, most likely they're not dealing with repairs, and their contract addendum clearly says so. If you're buying the property from Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac, you are buying that property as is, and if something's broke, pretty much too bad. Now, there are certainly some exceptions, and there are some ways to work around that, depending on what's wrong with the property. And if it's a HUD home, for example, they sometimes factor those things in. If you're using a 203K loan, that's another way to get around that potential issue. With that said, they may be willing, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac may be willing to participate if it is a material condition that will affect the loan and they weren't aware of it. They may only accept cash offers if they know up front that there are material issues. So they may not be eligible for FHA or VA funding. If the seller, however, is a traditional homeowner, well, they may or may not have the resources to do the repairs. And these can be the challenges that have to be worked around, with contractors in some cases agreeing to be paid at closing out of the seller proceeds, for example. But it may also require some finesse, and these deferred repair items can come up again and again and cause problems in the appraisal portion of the purchase. Appraisers are getting more and more fond of calling out conditions of value that are turning into required repairs. This is more common with FHA and VA loans, but it's not unheard of in conventional loans either. Now, one thing for buyers to consider, if it is not a condition of value, you may want to consider sticking to those repair items that are going to be loan related and not the other nickel and dime things. Some of your negotiation leverage is going to depend on what it took to get you into the contract in the first place. And as I said earlier, inspections give you another opportunity to negotiate, another bite at the apple, if you will. You may not want to have spent all of your leverage up front. Appraisals come in low. That is the next area where we've had some challenges in the past couple of weeks. And I'm really struggling here because I have a lot of frustration right now with some appraisers. But I don't really want to get too deep into that because, one, I don't really have time to do it, and two, I'll probably get myself in trouble. But appraisals coming in close short, is just needless in my opinion. If the realtor for the seller has done a good job in selecting the comparables and listing the house, and the realtor for the buyer has done a good job in helping them to develop an offer, then the final negotiated price should reasonably be within the market, and the appraised value should match. We're all using the same numbers, but it happens. Appraisers are tending to be more conservative today. I'm tempted to say too conservative today. They don't understand that the market has changed in some cases. If the seller can't move and the buyer can't bring in additional funds, the whole deal's in jeopardy. But there's usually a way to work it out if both sides are reasonable and if they have the capacity to do so. What typically happens is the seller reduces the purchase price to the appraised value, but they're going to want to renegotiate on things like buyer closing costs that are being paid or personal property that is included in the sale. Now, for buyers, one place where deals rarely fail, but it does happen, is the review of the title report and the CC&Rs for the neighborhood. I have seen it happen a few times. Now, sometimes something comes out of the blue that nobody knew or recognized, and the buyers decide they can't live with it. More common, though, during their due diligence period, they can find out that what they want to do with the property is something that they can't do with the property. And again, an example from my recent past, I had some buyers that wanted to build an addition on, and they wanted to rebuild an existing shop. Okay, shop was already there. It was somewhat deteriorated. They were going to rebuild it the same size. They wanted to put an addition onto the house. During that due diligence period, they found out that the county would not allow them to do that for a lot of reasons having to do with footprint and setbacks and some other things. So ultimately, that deal, there was no way that they could do what they wanted to do with that property. Hopefully you have made that due diligence period. Again, if you have plans like that, make it part of your due diligence period, put it as a contingency in your contract, and then take the time to go to the courthouse or down to the county building and planning to make sure that what you want to do does comply with building, planning restrictions, or zoning restrictions. Finally, for the buyer, the most common reason deals fail, their financing. This can happen for a lot of reasons. No fault, job loss, injury, and I've seen both of those happen. Surprises sometimes come up. Something hurts the credit score, or the underwriter identifies something that causes the loan not to work. And despite being pre-approved, and this is often a frustration on the part of the sellers, I thought they were pre-approved, Dave. Well, they were pre-approved. But that pre-approval process is done by a loan processor, it's done by a lender, and there is this underwriter, this green eye shade person caught up all the way in, maybe in a different area, who sometimes throws a monkey wrench in there. Financing issues come up with regard to the house itself. As I mentioned earlier when we talked about the appraisal, I have a deal in progress right now that the underwriter has called out a condition on a deck, and that deck is not even attached to the house. It ended up being mentioned as a side note in the inspection report. The appraiser happened to notice it. And it's two decks, an upper deck and a lower deck. The upper deck is fine, completely rebuilt. The lower deck is in some disrepair. Well, it got called out during the inspection and during the appraisal, not as an issue, not as a condition of value, but as a note. Because, they have to do that. Well, the underwriter saw that note and is now making a big deal out of it. They want documentation that the deck is safe. Well, we had to get a contractor out there to secure the gate to the lower level, to repair a problem on the bottom level, and now we're trying to get it back to the underwriter to approve it so that they can release documents. In this case, the deal hasn't failed yet, but now we have been pushed about 2 weeks and counting past our closing date. We'll be back. It's just frustrating to try to get this thing done. How could we have done this differently? How could we have avoided that problem? Well, the seller could have spent thousands of dollars repairing the deck. That's about the only way, though. Okay, let's actually talk about it from the seller perspective. Let's take a quick break, and when we come back, we will do just that. This is Real Estate Talk on KGAL.
Have you heard? Proactive is better than ever. Stay tuned for a 1 million bottle giveaway. Do you have troubled skin, acne? Well, we have great news. With Proactive, your acne can heal, and you can prevent new breakouts from happening. Be one of the first to try it by giving us a call at 1-800-321-9960, because we're going to let 1 million people try Proactive risk-free and also receive our legendary refining mask and green tea moisturizer free if you call right now. You heard it. Be one of the first to try better than ever Proactive solution. You'll receive a 60-day risk-free trial, plus a free refining mask and green tea moisturizer. Call 1-800-321-9960. This is our best radio offer. Get your risk-free 60-day trial of Proactive plus 2 free extras. Go to getproactive.com or call 1-800-321-9960. That's 1-800-321-9960.
Hi, Bars, Dick.
Oh, hi, Dick.
Okay, I talked to every advertiser in America and the U.S. territories.
Good.
Even Micronesia and the state of Yap.
Good, Yap.
Everyone's ready to start advertising again.
Great.
They now realize that consumers are ready to spend. I'm talking every single advertiser.
Yeah, except Debbie.
I thought you told me Debbie was in.
This is a different Debbie.
What's this Debbie's problem?
Well, she said the agency's new creative doesn't speak to her.
What's the product?
Dog food.
Does she have a dog?
No.
Does she eat dog food?
No.
Then she's not the consumer.
No, but she's really ticked off of their spokes dog.
Oh, a prima donna, huh?
Prima dog. This dog wants his own trailer, masseuse, use of the company jet.
Company jet?
Wait a minute. I know how we can get Debbie on board, Dick.
Oh, Bars.
Get rid of the dog and get a new spoke screecher.
I played a chicken once.
He played a chicken once. He played a chicken once.
It's called advertising, and it works. Your competitors know this. Why don't you? This message brought to you by this station, Adweek Magazine, the Radio Advertising Bureau, and the famous Radio Ranch.
It's a favorite seasonal tradition, the Corvallis OSU Symphony Orchestra's holiday program. This year's program is Sunday, December 2nd, 3 o'clock at the LaSalle Stewart Center. Marlon Carlson conducts the orchestra, and with the OSU choruses under the direction of Stephen Zilke, performs classical and familiar holiday favorites. And, of course, the holiday concert concludes with the popular sing-along. Tickets are available at Grace Winds Music and Grassroots Books and Music in Corvallis. Reserved seat tickets may be purchased online at cosusymphony.org. Up to 3 K-8 students accompanied by an adult and high school and college students with ID may be given free general admission tickets at the door starting 1 hour prior to the concert, depending on availability. So make it a part of your holiday tradition. Holiday favorites with the Corvallis OSU Symphony Orchestra. This Sunday, December 2nd at the LaSalle Stewart Center on the OSU campus.
Your voice of reason in the West is Hugh Hewitt. Weekday afternoons at 3 on Smart Talk 1580.
Welcome back to Real Estate Talk. I'm Dave Pautsch of RE/MAX Integrity. We spent the first segment talking about this from the buyer's perspective. Again, it's only fair we get into the seller's perspective. For most sellers, the biggest challenge is actually getting the offer. If you've priced your home well and prepared it well, that isn't much of a problem in a busy market. You may be dealing with multiple offers, as I discussed earlier. But that's where we have the most stress, is actually getting the offer to negotiate. And once that offer is received and you're reviewing it as a seller, make sure you look at the complete offer. Price is important, but so are the terms and conditions. For many sellers, closing date is the key, and closing date can actually trip up the deal. If you're occupying the home, you may need time to coordinate your move out, perhaps to close on your next purchase. Here's a hint that will make your life easier. Make sure that you are closing both your purchase and your sale at the same title and escrow company. Whichever offer is in place first, whether you purchase the home first or you get an offer on your home to sell, get the other one at the same company. You'll find it much easier to coordinate a simultaneous or near simultaneous closing, to transfer funds, and manage the paperwork. If it's possible to deal with the same agent for both of those transactions, folks, that's going to be helpful too. It's very difficult to solve problems and coordinate a dual transaction when you have a second real estate agent with their own challenges that you have to coordinate with and communicate with. It just gets way too hard. Obviously, not always possible, and when it's not, take the step of introducing your two agents over the phone at least. Make sure they both know the circumstance and constraints of the other transaction and the other agent they're managing for you. The same challenges are present on both the seller side as we discussed on the buyer side, but the perspectives are different and the approaches may be as well. For example, for repairs. For the buyer, they're discovering that there are problems with the product that they are purchasing. It's stressful. They don't have an appreciation in all cases for how big these problems are or what other problems are going to be coming up that their inspector maybe didn't discover. From the seller perspective, the issues may be something that they've lived with for years and years and even forgotten that it isn't normal for it to be that way. Trust me, sellers, the fact that you have to run a hose from the kitchen sink to the laundry room is a problem, even if it's not a problem for you. That shower faucet that keeps running and running and running and running and running, you may overlook it because you see it every day and you don't see it anymore. But to the buyer, that's huge, and in their mind could cost them thousands of dollars to repair the extensive plumbing problems that exist. Similarly, the appraisal issue can be incredibly hurtful to a seller. Your agent may have tried to prepare you when they did the CMA. I know agents who have been surprised to get an offer on a home that they thought they had overpriced. Working with a seller who may be a bit stubborn is often a barrier to getting a deal. But even if you can navigate that and get the house into contract, the appraisal throws cold water on everything. Sellers see value in their homes that others don't. And the phrase, "I won't sell it for that," is not uncommon. But at the end of the day, it comes down to one question. Do you want to stay or do you want to go? Do you want to go do what's next? Whether that what's next is relocate to another city, another state, or across town, if you want to do what's next, you have to do what it takes. If you as a seller won't list your house for the price that it should have been listed at, you're forced to drop the price to finally get an offer, you've lost negotiation leverage, by the way, during the time on the market at the wrong price, then when that appraisal comes in low at or near the value that your agent already told you, you have to see the realities of that. Similarly, if you get 5 offers that end up not coming together and they're all at the same price, maybe you should recognize that when your agent's telling you this is the deal, you need to take it, they're giving you the right information. In the same way that the buyer, in my opinion, should be the one to bend in the initial negotiations, that difference of $4,000 over 30 years is less significant. If the buyer takes the risk, the seller has to take it at the appraisal if the appraisal comes in low. Now, let me differentiate between an appraisal coming in low that was or at least should have been expected to come in low and one that surprises everyone. In those cases, it may be worthwhile to argue the appraisal, to get another appraisal done, to look at who the appraiser is and what their experience is, to look at the comps they used. Were they the right comps? But at the end of the day, if you don't want the deal to fail, you have to negotiate and look at what's important to you. I had a seller recently say she'd be able to deal with the price reduction if the buyers would cut their closing costs. Now, both sides are pretty tight on cash, but they were able to find a way to trade stuff, like refrigerators and a washer and dryer. They have value. The buyers were looking to conserve their cash so they could purchase a washer and a dryer and a refrigerator. Well, the seller was able to trade them cash, which they used towards their closing, by eliminating the need for them to buy that. Real estate is full of challenges, my friends. As a real estate agent, it is my job to help my clients navigate those challenges and help them get into the home they love or out of the home they want out of on the best terms and conditions for them. I think if I can give you as a buyer or seller just a few quick pieces of advice, it would be this. 1, know what your priorities are and what your bottom lines are. Give where you can give to get what you can get. But don't compromise the things that are most important to you. 2, value is a relative term. Value is more than price, and there is great value in keeping the negotiations on a positive tone. 3, goodwill is a currency. You spend it in negotiations, and at some point you may find that you've spent all that you have and there isn't any left to make the deal work at the end of the day. So spend it carefully. Now, my final point is that the reason that deals fail is easy to talk about. The reason that real estate transactions stay together is often forgotten after the fact. If you're working with a good real estate agent, you may not recognize how many times he or she has kept 8 balls juggling in the air at the same time. Have they helped people to compromise or find common ground or common sense? How they've called in a favor or paid for something out of their own pocket just to make things work. I've had clients who've come up to me afterward, after a transaction and close, and say, oh, I would just love to get into real estate. It seems like so much fun looking at houses all day. Well, I know I've done my job well, but sometimes I wonder if I haven't done it too well. It's a fun job. I like what I do, and it's rewarding both professionally and, frankly, financially. But it's hard work, and it's a lot more than just showing houses. If you're selling your home without the benefit of a realtor, or if you're considering buying a home without the assistance and counsel of a realtor, then all these problems to solve are going to be your problems to solve. Certainly they're not insurmountable, but remember, you have to keep a business perspective sometimes to navigate these waters. And if it's your house or your purchase, that's hard. That can sometimes be too hard. Okay, we're running short on time, so let's take a break. When we come back, it'll be time for today's real estate market update. This is Real Estate Talk on KGAL.
Come on, ladies, join us at Garland Nursery.
Come on, ladies, treat yourself to some holiday therapy at Garland Nursery.
That's right, it's back by popular demand. Ladies' Day Out, today from 10 until 4. Shop, play, and pamper yourself all day for a great cause. 10% of all sales, except wine and food, will go towards Contours, a local North Albany breast cancer program. Garland Nursery's Ladies' Day Out will include a greens arranging workshop, a scarf tying demo, lunch by Iavino's Catering, wine by the glass, a Boggs trunk show, and a demo on container gardening in terrariums. Grab your girlfriends and head to Garland Nursery. Treat yourself to delights, tasty treats, wine, designing your own holiday centerpiece, and all for a good cause. It's the perfect Ladies' Day Out at Garland Nursery, today from 10 until 4. Garland Nursery is located halfway between Corvallis and Albany on Highway 20.
Hi, this is Mark, one of the owners at Buyrite in downtown Lebanon. Since we've been advertising on KGAL and KShow Radio, Buyrite's business has increased, and we just get good results. So if you want to let people know you're out there, advertise on KGAL and KShow, your local independent radio stations.
Want brand name clothing for pennies on the dollar? Then visit St. Vincent de Paul today. We always offer quality apparel, including designer label fashions at prices we think will surprise you. So have some fun, save some money, and do something nice for your neighbors. Shop St. Vincent de Paul today. We're St. Vincent de Paul, and we're located at 2220 Southeast Pacific Boulevard in Albany, right next to Big 5 Sporting Goods.
Doug Burton Landscaping is growing fast with more and more satisfied customers saying,
Doug Burton takes care of my lawn.
Wouldn't you rather have a well-maintained landscape? Doug Burton is ready to go to work for you. Not just lawn mowing, year-round complete landscape maintenance for your home or business. Call Doug Burton at 791-8758. 791-8758. Click on his link at kgal.com or kshow.net. Call 791-8758 for Doug Burton Landscaping.
To a Boy Scout, it's not about earning a badge. It's about the unforgettable experiences had along the way. It's about taking on the great outdoors and respecting nature. It's about working with friends, learning how to build a robot, and finding self-confidence on the zip line. Because while the badges are awesome, the lessons learned and the friends made are the true rewards. See how once-in-a-lifetime experiences can lead to a lifetime of success at beascout.org. Scouting, prepared for life.
The news you need, smart talk, and just enough sports. That's what you'll get from News Talk 1580, KGAL.
Welcome back to Real Estate Talk. I'm Dave Pautsch of RE/MAX Integrity. We'll finish, as always, with the market update. In Corvallis, inventory is down 1 from our previous report. Today, 130 active listings. The average asking price, $361,861. 118 homes have sold in the past 90 days. That's a tick up of 6 from the last report. Currently, 3.31 months of inventory. The median sold price in Corvallis over the past 90 days is flat. Today, $236,800. $152.48 per square foot on average, and homes spend 104 days on the market from listing to close. In Lebanon, 76 homes are available for sale. That is down 2. The median asking price is flat at $157,250. In the past 90 days, 41 homes have sold. That's up 2. And the median sold price is steady today at $110,000. At $87.41 per square foot, homes spend an average of 139 days on the market from listing to close, and there is 5.56 months of inventory available. Finally, to Albany, where inventory is down 13 with 246 active listings. The average asking price is down slightly at $187,750. 160 homes have sold in the past 90 days. That is a move up of 7 from last week's report. The median sale price is down just a hair today at $169,000 even, and homes are spending an average of 129 days on the market from listing to close of sale. The average dollar per square foot value in Albany is up just a slight amount at $109.07. There is 4.61 months of inventory available today. So, as I said at the beginning of the show, we're moving into the holiday season. It's December. The garland is up. The Christmas trees are up. But it does not appear to me, when I look at some of the pending and contingent sales, that things are slowing down, and that is due in large part to 2 specific things. One is the interest rates. The interest rates today are still incredible. They are still in the 3% range. They are just smoking, and it's motivating a lot of buyers to be out there looking. The second piece is, as you can tell by the market report in each of the cities, inventory is down. Even in Albany, right now we're in the 240 homes on the market listing number. We were at 280 earlier this year, and I was saying inventory was low. So inventory is way down. I would encourage you that if you are thinking, well, it's the holidays, I don't want my house on the market during the holidays, maybe I'll sell in the spring. You know, that's not necessarily a bad idea if you're not going to be able to show your house. But you can't sell a house that's not on the market, and there are people looking to buy right now. They are out there, they are looking for homes, and put your home on the market. If it is well priced and well conditioned, it just might be the right deal for you. So I do wish you all a happy holiday season as we get into the month of December. If you're thinking about buying a home, start at Willamette Neighborhood Housing Services. That's www.w-nhs.org. And if you've got a question, send it in here to Real Estate Talk. That's Real Estate Talk at kgal.com. We are here every Saturday morning, interested in talking to you about what's important in real estate. Send us your questions. We'll get them answered on the air. I'm Dave Pautsch of RE/MAX Integrity. We will be here next week on 1580 KGAL, Lebanon, Albany, and Corvallis. Have a great week.
Mid-Valley home of Smart Talk. This is News Talk 1580 KGAL, Lebanon, Albany, Corvallis.